Hey, it's NOOCH, and before we jump into ranking the factions in LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed, take a look over there. That is Jungle Garmadon, and NOOCH found him on Amazon. He just looks really cool. Well, if you think he also looks cool and you want to look into buying him or maybe giving somebody a Christmas suggestion, NOOCH is putting a link to Jungle Garmadon down in the comments, so you can use that link or pass that link on to somebody else, your parents, your loved one, and they can take a look at buying you something for Christmas. So just wanted to pass that along. Really thought Jungle Garmadon was a really cool character, and wanted to throw him out there. We're gonna start putting characters in these videos, just because it's a lot of fun to have them over there. Okay, so ranking the factions. Let's just jump right into it. We're looking at this I guess third column, which is Castle Pirate City, ranking the primary factions of these characters. We're going to rank top to bottom. There's 7 of them, so we're going to go 7 up to 1. And it just so happens that the very first one, Ghostbuster, at number 7, is actually on the bottom of the faction list. And they come in last. They come in at number 7 last for a few reasons. And we're going to see some themes here. We're looking at not only the usefulness of the team or the strength of the team, like we know that some teams are really great in arena, but maybe you can't use them elsewhere, but or maybe they're good for weekly events, or they're good for master events, or they're good for challenges, whatever, or maybe just for getting Pip Town or Glyph. So we're taking all this into account, and we're also going to be putting in their availability. Are these characters available? And that's why the Ghostbusters just lose. They're just at the bottom, and it's really easy to put them at the bottom because they're not available really hardly at all. I mean, it's going to be maybe a year before NOOCH is even able to unlock Slimer. Unless you're willing to go and spend a bunch of money on the Ghostbusters, you're not going to be unlocking them at useful levels anytime soon. And the only real place to use them is in Arena. You know, they are being used in Arena by some people who have them maxed out. Otherwise, you don't have events, you don't have challenges. They do fit in because you've got tanks and you've got support and stuff, but you know, they really just don't fit anywhere, and they're very unavailable. And that's what brings the Ghostbusters in at number 7, the lowest ranked faction. So then if we look at next, number 6 is going to be right above it, collectible. So the collectibles have some interesting characters. You got Hiker, you got Highwayman, you've got Yeti in there. Those are the 3 most interesting collectibles, and you can use those in other lineups. You know, Hiker was in NOOCH's pirate lineup for a long time at the beginning of the game. He's kind of a beginning to mid-game healer. And then you have Highwayman, who a lot of people use just for his sheer damage output, and Yeti people use in the cold lineup. However, almost none of these other characters really serve a purpose at all in LEGO Legacy Heroes. And if you take a look at them, we got Cactus Girl, Clockwork, Chicken Suit Guy, Fitness Instructor, Hot Dog. Nobody is using these characters anywhere. Zombie, Demolition Dummy, you just have no reason to use these guys. And something else that's noted, these guys are not in any of the other primary factions. You know, Hiker's in collectible, that's it. Cactus Girl costume, that's a sub faction that nobody's using. Clockwork Robot is a techie, which is also a sub faction that has a little bit of use. Chicken Suit Guy is costumed. You know, these guys are not city, they're not castle, they don't fall in anywhere until we get to Spooky Girls is spooky, but that's not one of the primary factions either. So they're just gonna have their primary faction is collectible. They're gonna have a sub faction, and so you're really using them to supplement your characters in some other primary faction, because when you're putting teams together in LEGO Legacy, you're generally using characters from the same or similar factions. And these collectible heroes are just no place to use most of them, aside from Hiker, Highwayman, and Yeti. So that's why it comes in at number 6. Coming in at number 5, City. City, aside from Explorer Aurora, no one is really using these characters much. Now, they're all explorers, so, well, no, we're wrong. They're explorers and builders, so they can be used in Glyph Hunt or Pip Town, and that's fine. There is a weekly event, the Missing Materials event, that is for city characters, so that's why they come in higher than collectibles, because first of all, they do have some synergy within the team. They have other sub-factions they're good with. They're builders and explorers, and they have a weekly event. So they do come in higher. They're very available. You can farm these characters. Look, Ash, Chef, Everybody down to chef. Well, they're very available. So they're just not really useful. People aren't using them in arena. You're just not using them in too many places. And that's why city comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is going to be castle. Castle has the same issue with city. Now, part of our NOOCH's challenge with ranking these is NOOCH is using Ghost and Magisto in his arena team right now. But the rest of these guys just don't get used a lot. You don't see them a lot in arena. They're in there a bit. You see teams of Barnabas and Jester, but it's just not a really solid, cohesive faction at the moment. Well, it is very cohesive. Let me take that. It's a very cohesive faction. It's just not super useful. You do have the weekly event book learning where you get scrolls, and you can use these guys for the challenges. NOOCH, like you said, is right now is using Ghost and Magisto in arena, but most people aren't. That's a pretty uncommon team for people to use. And the other part is that, well, Ghost is in there, but you have to use a space team to get Ghost. So it's great NOOCH has them, but not everybody has Ghost, and because we're stumbling. These guys are very available, so you can get castle characters very easily in the game. They're farmable in a lot of different places, so very available, but just not super duper useful in the game. That's why they come in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is our space faction. Space is useful. What? Wait a minute. We gotta go back to castle. What is NOOCH doing? Castle has a master event. He used Castle for the Primo Master event to unlock Primos. So, yeah, they come in at number 4. They do have that usefulness. So you do need to get these characters leveled up so you can get Primo. But the thing is that, by all reports, Primo isn't super great and doesn't make the city team super usable. And people don't use Primo very much. But because they have a Master event, that's where city comes in. Okay, now let's move on to, what do you think it might be? Space. Space comes in next, and there's several reasons for this. One is NOOCH loves Kelvin, and there's no way around it. NOOCH does not want to know why Kelvin why people don't use Kelvin more often. She is a great support character. She gives extra health to the whole team. She has damage block. She zaps pep on whoever she hits. You got, Commander Cold is also a good character. People are using those two in cold teams. Spaceman Reed has a great stun. People use Locust as a tank in their arena teams. And this team has a weekly event, Gorwell's Great Escape. Yeah, there you go, where you're getting gear. So they have a weekly event. You can use them in the tanks, the support. NOOCH used Kelvin for the support daily challenge to finish that off. And they have a master event. So yeah, now space, you can get Ghost with them. So, and finally, some people are using space in arena. It's not common at all, but it is being done. People are using space in arena. And once we get characters like Kartovsky and Gorwell, and maybe Jens eventually if we ever get a raid, once we start to get those characters unlocked, this is going to become a really dangerous faction. So space comes in 3rd for all these reasons. It's a really good faction. There's a lot of characters in there that can be plugged and played into other teams. And they have they're used for a master event, a weekly event. They're being used in arena. They can be used for the challenges very well. This is just a really well-rounded group and faction in LEGO Legacy. Coming in at number 2 are your favorites, the Ninjagos. Now, these guys are really dominating arena at the moment. Even if you don't have a pure Ninjago team, you've got a Ninjago mixed team. You got Ninjago in there with some pirates. The Ninjago are pretty much the most powerful damage-dealing units in the game. If you look at those top 5 there, those guys do damage like nobody's business. Well, Wu is really supporting everybody. Lloyd is kind of tanking for everybody. And the other 3 just destroy enemies with ease. So this team comes in at number 2. The reason that they're number 2, even though they're dominating arena, is that you don't have anything else that they're required for. There's no master event. There's no weekly event. NOOCH certainly use them in the challenges. We've used Wu in the support challenge. We're using Lloyd in the tank challenge. We definitely use Garmadon and Zane and Kai to finish off the attacker challenge. And NOOCH posted a video on that. So these guys are awesome. They're great characters. A lot of people are using DigiJ in there, and Naya gets used as well. Everybody except Great White gets mixed into a Ninjago team. But because they're really only used in arena for the most part, that's why they come in at number 2, and they don't quite climb to the top of the ladder for the factions. But coming in at number 1, your favorite and NOOCH's, the Pirates. The Pirates are not only useful in arena, they're also useful for all of the daily challenge. The daily challenges. You're going to use supports like Bart and Redbeard. You can use a tank like Valiant or Scarlet. You're just going to use these guys a lot. You're going to be putting them in your arena team. You're going to be using them as explorers and glyph hunt when you first start the game. This is not only your starter team, it's a top faction in the game. And why? Well, they also have a master event. You use them to get Master Wu, to unlock Master Wu. And in addition to that, they have a weekly event, which is Pegleg's Challenge, Captain Pegleg's Treasure. And that is the most important weekly event, maybe the most important event in the game, because gold or coins or whatever you want to call them are so scarce in this game. So that is where the Pirates really come in to be very, very important in LEGO Legacy Heroes. They're being used in Arena. They're being used for a master event. They're being used in Glyph Hunt. They're all over the place. But you need to level up your Pirates so that you can get that maximum amount of gold every week from Captain Pegleg's Treasure. If you don't get that gold, you're going to be falling behind in the game. And so the Pirates are an essential faction at the beginning of the game. They should always be farmed first above every other faction because of that Pegleg's Treasure. Well, that's it. We ranked these guys 7 to 1. Hopefully that helps you look at, and maybe helps you look at what you're looking at the game. Understand what's happening. Really, this is more of an understanding video. If you understand where those factions fall, maybe it helps you with your next choice of who to farm, why to farm them, what you're farming them for. We have nothing else today. Remember, NOOCH too good.